In this next article from Daily Mail, Chinese media says Australia will become the poor white trash of Asia. The provocative article was a response to Prime Minister Scott Morrison's plan to stop states signing deals with foreign powers that go against Australians' foreign policy. Beijing's or the Global Times newspaper said Australia will become poor white trash. The phrase was first said about Australia by the Singaporean Prime Minister back in 1980. The article was a response to the Prime Minister's plan to stop those states from signing a deal with China. So, this is what they do. The Chinese Nazi Party that is in control of China, they know the end is nigh. They know that they can't keep control of China for very much longer, and that they need to control everyone's speech all around the world. They have that new national security law in Hong Kong, and that makes it extraterritorial, which means that they can enforce it beyond mainland China. For instance, if you encourage Hong Kong to commit sedition against the Chinese Nazi Party and to be a democracy, you are in violation of the Chinese national security law. And I want to see, there's two other things that it's like sedition, and then I forget the other two. Subversion and terrorism and colluding with foreign forces. So I would definitely say that the people of Hong Kong should collude with the democracy in the United States to overthrow the dictator Xi Jinping, the one who brought the new, more evolved form of Marxism to China that almost exactly mirrors National Socialism to every last little detail. It mirrors National Socialism. And they are trying to keep all this stuff secret by controlling our internet, modifying Wikipedia, slipping facts into our history books. Some of this intentional by the Chinese government spy machines. Some of it also, too, by their own citizens who just believe it because they saw the propaganda. There's a mixture of both, along with radicals in our country that also go along with it. It's a mixture of everything. And they just rig Wikipedia, and this causes them to rig the fake news industrial complex. So if you are criticizing China, they're going to call you fake news, and then they're going to slander you, and they're going to say that you're trash, and they are going to try to have a cyber war on your country. They're going to try to wipe your population off the face of the planet with computer technologies and drugs like fentanyl. So we got to take out Xi Jinping. We got to, of course, we shouldn't encourage terrorism over there. What was the things? No one should encourage terrorism. You should, look, the entire point of a protest is to show people that good people support this. This is why you should support it, because facts and logic don't work with people, bro. This is something I've learned the hard way through running this channel, that facts absolutely don't work with anyone. That in order to get through to people, you have to coerce them, which unfortunately means that people are very easy to manipulate. So you got to kill them with kindness. You got to you're not supposed to be doing what black looter mobs out doing. burning, looting, and murdering, demanding they get everything their way. Because what they're doing is they're showing you who is behind it. And the people who are behind it obviously are vile and detestable. And they are criminals. They're a criminal element. They are terrorists. They terrorize people. By all stretches of the imagination, they also engage in hatred, hostility, and violence towards cops, Donald Trump and Trump supporters over fake news. And so they're engaging, the actions of the black looter mob are working hand in hand with the Chinese in a obvious pattern of cultural Marxism, which came from the Chinese Communist Party when they did the cultural de-evolution in China. They said it wasn't Marxism that failed, it was the culture that failed, so they had to annihilate the culture. And then they went through and they killed about 60 million people in China, and they killed another over 40 million people in the USSR during that period of time. Because the socialists lived in the cities, and then the rural areas were capitalist, and the socialists could not get their way unless the people in the country would be a food factory for them. So they went through the countryside and killed people in the millions. And then we've got all this cyber war from China because the Chinese Nazi Party is losing control of China. The emperor wears no clothes. The secret is out. The cat's out of the bag. The worms aren't going back in the can. The poop is on the cardboard. And all it takes is just a little bit of rubbing on the strings that are propping up the dictator of China, Zinni the Pooh, who looks just like Winnie the Pooh. He hates it when you call him Winnie the Pooh. So we like to tease him a lot on this show. We like to hide little Pooh Bears. Because he can't take it. He hates how he looks so much like Tigger, as you could see. As you can see, Xi Jinping looks just like Winnie the Pooh. See? And President Obama, he looks just like Tigger. You didn't know that, huh? This just blew your mind, huh? But Zinni the Pooh cannot take when you tease him. He's got thin skin. So they banned Winnie the Pooh from China. So we like to troll him. With little Pooh Bears. And if we keep rubbing those strings, Zinni the Pooh will fall down into history in the place that he deserves as a detestable cultural Marxist who ran a surveillance state where people disappeared quite regularly. That was an authoritarian dictatorship where they had hundreds of millions of impoverished Chinese out in the countryside with filthy, stinking rich Chinese in the city with millions of Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. They allowed private property ownership, and they'll come take your business if you ever go against the Chinese Nazi Party. They're trying to be the world's #1 superpower. All of those things put together, that spells National Socialism. That's what National Socialism is. It's a hybrid of socialism where you can have private property ownership, but the government can come and take your business. They think it's a new type of Marxism. No, it's the same thing as Nazism. And in fact, everybody's going to agree with you. These people act just like Nazis. So if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's a duck. You got to call it when you see it. It's the Chinese Nazi Party. And they're going to make Australia poor white trash. So this is why we got to shut them down, take them out, bring democracy, encourage them to commit sedition and to commit coercion. Because if everybody in the world does it, then they cannot make this extraterritorial law work because nobody follows it. If nobody is following their extraterritorial national security law, it's not going to work. So I implore you to share this on social media, help us grow, and let's take down Zinni the Pooh.